All right, we have more updates from Egypt. Unfortunately, the violence continues. Now, since Wednesday, that's mainly when the military started moving in on Muslim Brotherhood protesters, we have had over 800 deaths. Over 1,000 Muslim Brotherhood sympathizers have been detained. I'm starting to worry about what happens to them as well. And people criticize me for saying that I'm against the Muslim Brotherhood every time I do these stories. But it has to be clarified. I don't agree with their ideology, and I would hope that they would lose every election in a landslide. That doesn't mean you get to detain them because they might be Muslim Brotherhood sympathizers. You could detain someone for doing actual violence, which, by the way, the Muslim Brotherhood is doing from time to time. Not all of them, but certainly some of them. Now, churches have been burned down. Of course, the Muslim Brotherhood denies it, but they're the ones that were constantly speaking out against the Christians in Egypt, and it seems like it's a fair conclusion from the evidence that we see that it was likely them. You want to detain those guys and ask them questions? Of course you should. That's police work, okay? There are guys that had rifles and that were firing from crowds from time to time. You want to go after those guys? Of course you should, right? And many cops have been killed. At least 24 policemen have been killed since Monday. So these clashes are going in both directions. But at every turn, the military goes way too far. So, for example, out of the 1,000 people detained in the Muslim Brotherhood, 38 were asphyxiated and killed. Now, the military says, oh, no, we had already brought them to prison, and they were trying to do a prison break, and they had captured a guard, and we put tear gas in there, and I guess we didn't ventilate it enough, and they died from that. Other legitimate sources say, no, they packed 38 guys into the back of a van, they couldn't breathe, and they all died from not having enough oxygen, and the authorities didn't give a damn. We don't know which story is true yet, but do you really just trust the military? Any government, let alone what the Egyptian government is doing right now? So those are very questionable circumstances under which 38 prisoners were basically killed. These are bad old times, man. I remember what the Egyptian military used to do not just to the Muslim Brotherhood, but also to liberal and secular people that were against the military and the government of Egypt. Not good times. These are very bad trends.